Hey, Doug Radke here from KRG Hospitality. I often get asked this question, and perhaps it's a question that you have as well. What is the first step in developing a successful bar, restaurant, or hospitality business? Is it finding the right location? Is it securing the funds that are needed? Is it creating a concept, or maybe is it writing a business plan? While all of those are critically important and are all part of the 500 plus tasks to complete, the answer is actually none of those. The first step is completing a feasibility study, a study that would help you in finding that right location and securing the funds that are needed and creating a winning concept and developing a business plan. A feasibility study is one of those non-negotiable plans needed for your long-term success. But it is a process that many new or even expanding brands skip out on, leading to wasted time and a quick loss of investment. A feasibility study must be conducted in order to determine the potential success rate of your concept, brand, or property and to minimize all of the related risks. This plan should essentially be, though, the first of three plans, the study that's done before completing that concept development plan and strategic business plan, that all at the end of the day work hand in hand towards your long-term sustainable success. And when I was teaching hospitality management a few years ago, I had one of the students ask me, why not just include the information from within a typical feasibility study into the business plan? Why do we need three different or separate plans? And it is a valid question. And the simplified answer is because we want to know the validity of the idea before investing in the concept and investing in the action plan. A successful operation within this industry has always been about balancing risks and returns, and that is arguably more important now than ever before. Why? Because a global pandemic paired with political insecurity and softening economies, along with fluctuating markets and shrinking budgets and a remote workforce, really intensifies the challenges this industry faces. This is where a strong feasibility study can help align solutions to those challenges before getting too deeply involved. A feasibility study can be really defined as this controlled process for identifying problems and also opportunities. It can also be defined by determining objectives and describing situations. It can also be described as defining successful outcomes and assessing a range of costs and benefits associated with several alternatives for solving a problem or even a gap in the market. This sounds like a fairly important plan to me to have even during the best of times. And in fact, let this sink in for a moment. It is estimated that only 1 in 50 businesses operating are actually commercially viable. A feasibility study is this effective way to safeguard yourself against the potential waste of further time and investment. And over the past decade, we have saved clients millions of dollars in potentially wasted investments by first completing a feasibility study. We have found that certain ideas and concepts wouldn't be viable based on the market research. We have even saved clients from signing on the dotted line of a lease after learning that their intended concept and vision wouldn't make financial sense in that space. I cannot stress this enough. A feasibility study must be conducted in order to determine the potential success rate of your restaurant, bar, or hospitality business and to minimize the risks for you, your family, your bank, or your investors. It is to be used to determine the viability of a hyper-local market and its demographics and socio-demographics. It is to be used to determine the technical viability of starting your intended concept, plus the ideal makeup of your location, its required differentiation, and its competitive landscape. It is to be used to determine the business viability based on an in-depth industry assessment. It is to be used to determine the financial viability of an idea, and it is to be used to determine the ideal square footage that aligns with your budget, ensuring it is realistic, all the while developing and measuring the key performance indicators needed for you to be successful. How can you understand your market and prepare for the changes that are happening right now? How can you determine the market and financial objectives? How can you solve problems and gaps in the market? How can you set the foundations for a successful business? The answer to all of these questions can be found through the preparation and development of a detailed feasibility study.